Welcome back to day 3 of the Dota 2 Asian Championship. We're here, the games are about to start. Ben, you're back.
Hello, how's it going? Nice to be back with all my favorite people.
It looks so
Screw the
clean.
BTS guys.
Yeah.
Wow.
We are a colorful table today.
Not Cinderin.
No, well, I mean, you have to provide the bass tone so that everyone else
No,
can
white would have been better.
I'm just here to make you guys look good.
Okay.
That's
Appreciate
his
that.
dedication.
His skin's already white.
Yeah, fair
True.
enough. So we also have the Dota Cinema duo, Cinder and Sandstorm. How are you guys doing?
Great. Thank you for asking, Bruno.
I know.
You're looking spiffy today.
That's pretty much my job, asking people how they're doing and conducting them into talking about the
Sounds
games.
great.
Yeah. And talking about the games, we're not...
I'm okay too.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean,
What
I only have to ask. I don't have to wait for an answer, you know. Like that's above my payroll.
That's fine. I'll talk over Shannon next time.
Fair enough. So yeah, we're going here. eHome versus Secret is going to be our first game of the night, the first of 9. There's also going to be another 9 games in twitch.tv/DotaCinema and another 9 games in twitch.tv/BeyondTheSummit2. Make sure you go to Cuddle Guy and say, Guy, you're amazing.
Guy, you're coddle.
Yeah, Guy, you're so cuddle. He's been casting non-stop. Like, we take breaks, we rotate, we do a lot of stuff. He just non-stop casts for
I hear he
14,
casts,
15 hours?
He casts with a bucket next to him. Is that true?
a bucket.
Yeah.
What for?
For
Co-caster?
bathroom.
Oh, yeah. It's kind of like
Bathroom
How did they
bucket.
not get that?
I don't know. Do they not have bathroom buckets?
He said,
No, I get it was
he
like-
said a co-caster.
no, like to be bucket is puking, you know.
Okay.
So I
Oh.
imagine like, oh, this is a
Haven't
horrible
you
game.
seen the South Park episode?
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, man.
Come on,
bathroom.
guys.
The Eric Cartman playing World of
Yeah.
Warcraft. Yeah, that's true.
I think that was a bedpan, technically.
Yeah, it's tomato.
Get
But
it.
you can use a bucket for any orifice. That's something today you learned.
Yes. Also for the ears. I don't know how that works, but it's
If
an
it's
art.
bleeding profusely, it's possible.
Fair enough. But yeah, we do have a lot of matches today. We're gonna start with eHome versus Secret. Unfortunately, I wasn't a call during the pre-show. So, any one of you were in the pre-show?
Yes.
Did you extensively talk about Secret versus eHome or not particularly?
You should have paid attention. Now you're going to have to guess.
Damn it! Let's talk
go
again
with
if
it.
we talked.
Well, we didn't
Yeah.
talk that much about it. We talked a
Excellent.
lot about the
Just the
each
overall
of the
standings in
teams
general.
and the standings, but
Yeah.
not so much about the matchup itself. So
Cool,
that's okay.
excellent. So we're gonna talk about Secret and eHome. Of course, we talk about Secret 7-0 undefeated. eHome, a team that has a lot of promise because they have Mushi and Ohio. People like that. It's cool.
I like that.
They like that.
I like that.
But yesterday, someone was saying if a team can take some games out of Secret and EG, it might be eHome because they play a very unique style. They are very aggressive, and they might match very well against Secret and EG. How do you feel? Is this correct?
Yeah, I think so. I think eHome could have had a better score. They could because they have lost, so then they could have. No, because I want to say, I think they're 3-3 right now.
Mhm.
I would have expected a little bit better out of them when you see how they play in their good games.
Mm-hmm.
In a way, they kind of even got a freebie from HR that they should
Yeah.
have lost. So they could have been 2-4 even, which I don't think would reflect how strong they are in the field. But going into the game, obviously Secret are favorites. I would agree that eHome is one of the teams with the strongest, the best chance of taking them down. I mentioned this during the pre-game talk as well. It's when you go against Secret right now, it just seems they have this very clear-cut style where if they can get Chen plus either SF or Lycan for Arteezy, they're off to a good start. So either you ban those 2 cores for Arteezy or you ban out the Chen and take it from there. Or you
Right.
give that away and you are well knowing that this is their absolute most powerful strategy so far. You give them that and then you need a counterplan. And no one has been able to pull that off yet. I think CDEC were close last night. Really, really close.
Yep.
So it is doable, but for now, I think that's making it harder than it has to be. I would ban the Chen plus whatever you want second, just to take that Chen out of the picture, and then Arteezy will get his hero.
Okay.
But I think the Chen is their absolutely most important pick.
Let's say you ban the Chen and you want to ban either the Shadowfiend or the Lycan. Which one do you prioritize?
When there's no Chen, I think the Lycan might be scarier in
Mhm.
Arteezy's hands. I think every time they've picked SF, they also had Chen.
Yes.
And we cast a game
Why
where...
are you looking at me?
I don't know, that's actually...
Everyone knows you're the stats guy.
you know that.
Yeah.
We
okay.
did cast one game in which they had Lycan but not Chen,
Uh-huh.
and that was against HR, and they could have lost that game. So it's a very small sample size, and there's a lot of factors playing in, but I think banning Chen is a good start for eHome, and I think they're going to do it, because they have a lot of after you've played like 3 games or seen 3 games of Secret, you can be like, okay, let's see a little bit more. Now they have, was it 7 games? They've 6 games.
Yeah, 6.
6 games they've played. I think they've had Chen in 5 of them. Chen.
I think just ban Chen.
Yeah, I'm just.
I would
It's as
ban
simple
Chen.
as that.
Yeah.
Chen first, and then
It's also good against a lot of the like Troll and Jug in particular, and I don't
Mhm.
think most of the other teams get axed. So I think if you are going to let Chen through, then you don't go with what's super hot. Actually, I've seen some games where Jug and Troll have been completely ignored.
Yeah, that's
So
yeah.
I mean, it should be done sometimes, and I think for Secret it might be the right choice.
Excellent.
All right, do you guys disagree with the fact that I think just about any team can take a game off of anybody since it is a best of one? I mean, I don't think
No,
anybody's
I
going
disagree with
undefeated.
that.
You disagree.
Mm,
I
I
said
don't.
just okay.
I
Oh,
don't.
you don't disagree.
I think that
That's
some
a first.
teams like MVP Phoenix will have a tough time.
Okay, like the bottom 4 would be a little shakier, but I think
Yeah.
like a majority of the teams could take. A
I think
game
Newbie
on
can take a
anybody.
match of everyone.
Everybody still thinks that, yeah.
I don't think Newbie is going to finish top 8.
Mm.
I think they're probably going to finish top 4, but they can win versus
Wow.
CG.
Really?
Sorry, bottom 4.
Bottom 4.
Bottom 4, sorry.
bottom 4.
Bottom
You
4.
don't even think they make 9 to 12.
They're really close to.
I mean,
they're-
I
they're
say it's a
bottom 4.
50-50.
50-50.
50-50.
Okay.
Yeah. Ben, you're actually the
I mean,
the
they
king
played
of-
a lot of the worst teams too. I would say so.
No, that's true.
yeah.
I don't know.
It's
They-
actually not
They
looking
lost
good.
versus Phoenix, which is, I believe, last place with
with
him.
with
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
So that's already not very good for them.
Yeah.
Newbie's just been looking.
They just
really
have to get
poor.
excited for the game. They're gonna get pumped up if they're against a good opponent.
Yeah.
Obviously,
They're gonna
Because
get,
they lost versus
they're
EG,
gonna get
so
pumped up with their backs against the wall.
they don't respect
gonna
EG.
have to-
It's-
they don't respect
everybody
EG.
else will be fine with it.
Oh,
Oh, this team is 5-0, whatever.
Sounds fun. Some people
Hello.
are claiming
Yes.
that Newbie isn't
Incorrect.
trying hard enough because
Mm.
they have $1 million in their bank account, and it's hard to get motivated when you have money
That's
in your
what-
pocket.
that's what they. That's
They
what
asked me how it feels to be a millionaire.
Andrew and I
Yeah,
were talking
exactly.
about. It.
Do you agree with that? If you had $1 million in your bank account from your Dota Cinema YouTube revenue,
Boy, that would be.
Don't you
that would
have
be a
like
dream.
10 of those?
Yeah, I'd have 10 of. It's actually a good question though.
We're making so much dough.
I know.
I would say, yeah, it can be demotivating, but I feel like a tournament like this, a month beforehand, you at least start to get things together.
Mhm.
You know, I mean, I don't know what their schedule has been as far as like
They did
promotional
decently a
stuff,
month ago.
selling stuff, but
Yeah, they're still the post TI. I think the most successful
Yeah.
Dota 2 team at all
Yeah. I would
Dota
say
team
so.
of all.
of all. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
I thought it was just of the Chinese. Okay.
in terms of prize money.
Okay.
But again, like prize money in Chinese tournaments is a little bit skewed because tournaments are super top heavy.
Yeah.
And they're like less tournaments, more prize money as
Mhm.
well. So essentially, you win one tournament in Asia, and it's like winning 4 tournaments in.
Well, I mean, there's a reason we haven't seen back-to-back TI champions,
Yeah,
and I think part of it has to do with lack of motivation because you feel like you're already on top, and anytime you're trying to make your way up, you're gonna have more motivation more incentive, if you will.
I think Alliance
better.
would have been the exception to that because they won $1.6 million, something like that. But then coming to the next tournament, it was a $5 million prize pool, and that I
Mhm.
think even if you have that money in your pocket, especially with how much taxes Sweden takes from you.
Yeah, it's true.
You'd
You'd know better than most on that one. Huh?
Yeah. It is pretty terrible,
Hmm.
but it's pretty cool. I don't know.
It's pretty
So
cool.
what you-
Hey,
losing
you have free,
okay,
health,
there's
you have
plenty of
free
money.
healthcare, free education, free. I'm not gonna like turn into a Swedish propaganda, but I understand why you pay so many taxes. Is it like that in Denmark as well?
I think we might pay even more, actually.
Ooh.
Scandinavian countries have like the highest tax over
Norway number
USA.
Yeah,
Get
30%
out of here.
self-business thing,
Cool.
whatever it's called.
high
Excellent.
tax, but you get some good stuff.
But you
for
get
it.
some good stuff, and you get good pastry in Denmark.
Yeah,
I heard.
No,
and
it's good
in a-
Danish in
I
Denmark.
think we were
Your meatballs and brown sauce is terrible.
in a pretty. I think it was a pretty big statistical survey from 2014. I think
Mhm.
Denmark was the happiest country in the world. Just saying.
I heard that.
So-
You know, these all like suicide rates are super. I don't believe that. I mean,
I don't know how this turned into suicide rates.
no, you were talking about happiness, and like I think the opposite of happiness is suicide.
Okay, I think of sadness, but to each their own, I guess. That's kind of extreme.
That's
that
good.
that got
That's good.
dark really fast.
I like that.
Anyways, back to the game. We have 10 people in the lobby. The game is not starting yet, so don't worry. That's why we're sidetracking.
So
but-
already.
We were talking about eHome. They definitely have chances against Secret. Ben, going back to you. You've been watching games yesterday.
I casted I had casted eHome versus CDEC. I thought that was going to be pretty close. It seems like When you watch Secret, it seems like they're very well versed in how to play with an SF, and their like victory conditions usually pretty clear. But when I saw eHome play, it was like Ohio on LC and I think Mushi on Medusa. Like Ohio didn't get any sort of farm, and he actually struggles a lot. I guess he was a carry player before, so he's used to having a lot of items and doing a lot of things with them. But he was this LC with like Blink Blade Mail like 50 minutes in, and then wasn't able to really do anything. And on top of that, he choked. He actually picked up a rapier.
Yeah. But he
When it was Medusa's rapier, and he picked it up, and they lost the game. Well, I don't know if it actually would have affected the outcome, but it definitely affected the next fight.
It's a mistake. Like it's something that could have been done different.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if it won them or lost them.
Mushi's screening priority for teammates. Please don't pick up items.
Pick up items and don't deny them. As we're starting into the game, I want to go quickly, first of all, into predictions.
Okay, I have failed horribly. I'm not betting against Secret the rest of the tournament.
Fair enough.
Which means they're probably going to lose the rest, but I'll go with that decision now.
Okay. Ben?
I think Secret pretty easily, I would say like 70-30, maybe a little bit more even.
Ooh.
Secret's really strong. And
Okay.
eHome is weaker than I expected
Fair
in
enough.
this tournament.
Syndren?
Yeah, I also think Secret's going to win. I think it would be good for the tournament, though, if eHome wins. I think it has some really interesting implications on the rest of the group stage if eHome takes a game. I also think, as I said earlier on the pre-show, I made the bold prediction that both Secret and EG are going to lose a game today. So I think if Secret loses a game, it kind of has to be this one, because I think their next two games were really relative to this one should be easy for Secret.
Right.
So I'm gonna stick with that. Well, then I have to say eHome wins, right? Because that was my first prediction.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say eHome. I'm gonna go with it.
Oh man,
We trust in it. That's not really betting with my brain though, but let's try it. I'll say eHome.
Fair
Let's
enough.
do
I still say
it. 51% chance of winning.
Wow. Playing with, or you could say like 30%, but you still go with eHome.
Well, then it's just stupid. Then you're just stupid. They have 30% chance of winning eHome. Let's do it.
Definitely. I'm feeling lucky today. I'm gonna go with Secret. But
Unless if I can get double up odds, if I get like 2 points if eHome wins, then that changes my perspective. But for 1 point, then why would
I'll give you a 2-1.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Easy.
I'll
Only
give
2 to
you-
1? I'd still go Secret.
I still go Secret.
yeah.
What about 3 to 1? 3 to 1's where it's.
Okay, sure. 3-1. Then I take you.
It's kind of 3 to 1
You're
right
gonna
now.
take eHome even if it was 1. Come on,
I'm just trying to get some
freaking
points.
negotiation skills here.
Wow.
Jesus,
I'll give you 2.5.
Okay.
man,
Wow.
so much like you.
This negotiation. Okay, as
So
we go
good.
into the draft, we can keep talking, but let's take a look at
Yeah.
what's being picked and banned. I have to say, they didn't ban the Chen first, but they did take away the Shadowfin and the Dazzle.
And the Dazzle as well.
This is not Hellraiser, eHome. This is Secret.
Is there any doubt that Chen's first pick for Secret?
Okay.
It's a little different because they're not overall first pick, so they can get a combo.
I guess that's true. Yeah.
Maybe eHome takes the Chen.
I think eHome first picks Lycan, actually. And
Yang's
then
been playing it a lot.
what's that? Who's
Yang
playing?
has
Yang
been
plays
playing
it,
a
yeah.
lot.
So if they get the Lycan first, then sure you give. Okay.
Oh, there's the ban.
Then they might first pick the Chen. I don't know if they have a really good player for it though. I think DDC does play Chen,
DDC.
or maybe Inflame. He's very versatile.
It used to be DD when DDC and DD played together. It used to be DD the jungler, I think.
There's almost no doubt in my mind that Secret will still pick Chen if he.
If eHome doesn't, then
Yeah.
Secret should pick Chen definitely.
But who are they going to pair it with? This is the first time we see both Shadowfiend and Lycan banned, I think, in the first phase, right?
Yeah, at least that I remember against
Okay.
Secret.
Yeah,
Juggernaut is the priority pick for eHome.
That made Chen better.
That suddenly made Chain more better. Betterer.
You know, I just realized, just random thought, that we're not ever gonna see, in all likelihood, a Secret Necro, because Kuroki's now support. And I
Yeah.
don't think I've ever seen Arteezy play that hero. It's
He played it, yeah.
He
how-
plays it.
in the tournament he's played it.
No,
No.
he didn't.
Oh.
But he played it.
He
in
plays
the
it
past.
Yeah,
Good.
Past.
That's a hero I don't understand why he's dropped off. He has the one ult that I feel
It's
is
unfair.
could be the most broken in the game. Like, I'm not saying it is
With
broken,
Ags.
or
You
right
mean.
with Ags.
Yeah.
It just has it's such a unique mechanic, and like even if you're down, you can just come back and win in a heartbeat.
Do we get the 3-spin
Oh
doctors?
boy.
I don't. They grab. Have they picked Troll yet at all?
Secret? I don't remember
I
them
don't think
picking
so.
Troll. I think if they pick Troll, S4 would play it. And Axe is already S4 hero, so I'm not sure.
They also Oh yeah, IO is in, of
Yeah.
course. So all right, that does make sense then that they don't grab the Chen, because I think in all the other games we've seen, IO has been banned out early on, or has been picked by the other. No, they haven't even played against IO, I think. So I guess they were considering, okay, shall we get the Chen here, and then they don't want Chen and IO together because that might be too greedy, and maybe Kuro doesn't like playing IO anymore or whatever. I haven't seen him play it at least. Or so do you get Chen or IO, and then you give IO to the team with the Juggernaut, which is something we've seen VG Gaming play a couple of times. It's extremely powerful. The healing ward, together with tether, just keeps the tether target.
Speaking of
you
healing,
can't deal with it unless you destroy the ward.
speaking of healing,
So Witch Doctor
Ben, have you noticed there's like a very big resurgence of healing heroes? Like you see a lot of Chen, you see a lot of Witch Doctor, you see
And no mech.
healing ward. There's no mech.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, it's really important to be able to take objectives after you have a fight, which is one of the reasons I think why AA is really strong and still is really strong. Is like after a fight, if you're all at low HP, you can't really take objectives, and you know a fight's not really won unless you can take something after it and get a little bit more map control, take a tower, take Roshan, and these just it's just like a reset button, especially the healing ward, which heals for your entire HP pool, which is a little ridiculous.
Yeah, especially when you get when we were to see pairing of Juggernaut and Chen, when you get to see that Granite Golem enhancing everyone's HP, suddenly that healing ward is so good. I'm kind of sad that the other two big ancients are not as good as the Granite Golem. And I feel they should have an aura as well.
Dragon needs like GG crit or something.
Yeah.
And what else?
Just a gold game.
Triceratops.
No, the lizard should like the Triceratops should give frenzy to allies. That's what I think.
That'd be good. I'd be down with that.
Pretty broken.
He's usually aura based though, right? He's usually not single target.
Yeah.
Buff. So I don't know. They might have to make it auras. Remember Endurance Aura? I remember Dota 1, you get all the move speed creeps with Chen. It was like Unholy Aura and Endurance Aura, and everyone would move at like 500 move speed. Just add that to the Ancient creeps.
Nice. That'd be nice.
That's balanced.
Yeah.
They need to add the passive,
Yeah.
the evasion neutrals,
The evasion,
the ancients.
yeah.
And it could be an aura of like 10% evasion. Is that too broken? 10% evasion?
Well, Arc, the Arc Warden, Zed, has a skill that on an AoE on the ground, everyone that's standing in it, including towers, get 100% evasion.
Really? I didn't know that. Okay.
Last 5 seconds. But because
That
you can
hero
have a
itself
clone, you can have
just
10
sounds
seconds of
broken.
100% evasion of everyone standing there. Of course, it forces you to clump.
Right.
But
In a way, it's going to be exciting when he comes out, because then maybe there's a hero that's more fundamentally broken than Earth Spirit. What do you think then?
Perhaps.
Zed is pretty.
What do you think
ridiculous
eHome
on
should
paper.
get to counter the IO relocate? I mean, Witch Doctor's decent. We've seen some glimpse or some Disruptor, but his win rate is like 35% in this tournament, I want to say.
which hero?
Disruptor.
Yeah, Disruptor is pretty bad.
I mean, Silencer's still available. That's
I
a
mean,
Jug's
you,
already
you
pretty
do have the Witch Doctor, which is cool. You have the
that
Juggernaut, which
good
is
enough?
okay. I mean, having the cask against the two people relocating is always a nice way that allows you
If
to
they
stay.
instantly split when they jump in without breaking the tether, the cask will only hit once.
Needed a Timber.
This hasn't been picked the whole tournament.
You know, I always talk about Timber. I'm like, oh, what's a good offlane here? Timber. Just 3 strength heroes in the
Yeah,
pool.
this is a really good pick. There
Yeah.
was another game earlier, I think it was either yesterday or the day before.
Yeah, I
I was
remember
like,
that.
please pick Timber, please pick Timber, please pick Timber. They didn't.
You
I
had
can't remember what team it was.
Omni Knight Axe and
Oh
stuff.
yeah, it was Secret against Cloud9, where I thought the
Techies was
Timber
instead.
would have been amazing in that
Yeah.
game. And then they picked
Yeah.
Techies. Oh, and it didn't matter, right? But
I think it'll struggle in the laning phase in this game, though.
yeah, we're gonna see.
Is this a techies game for Secret?
What if they put?
I don't think so.
What if you put the Timber Saw mid and put priority on getting him strong in this game? Because there's no counter to him either. He can be shut down in lane for now, but in mid game, Secret cannot deal with that hero right now. They have nothing. They have Call, which. Sure, maybe you can land that, but can you really kill him during it with those heroes?
I
There's a
think-
healing ward, healing from Witch Doctor. Cask when you initiate. They're playing IO together with 2 heroes that want to go up in your face. You just cask and then
I mean, I think they could just secure him in
weird.
like the safe lane, though.
they
if
could even
wanted
safe
to.
lane Timber. Yeah.
My question is, okay, even if you safe lane Timber, do you think you're safe from an off lane IO Bristleback? Because we've seen heroes run that in the past, and it's just run straight at you.
Well, they can just do
kind of
2-1-2
lineup.
to counter
Yeah.
their 2-1-2.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that.
Or
bad.
if that's the case, if they run an IO Bristleback,
Off lane.
eHome, yeah, offlane, eHome can just consider running an aggressive trialing themselves, destroy that lane, maybe rotate and gank mid, and Timber can stand against IO Bristle. He won't die if he plays it right, but obviously he's going to lose some farm, then it's about what you prioritize in the game. I think this pick took Secret a little, they caught them off guard. I think they might be a little bit concerned with this and want to directly counterpick Timber. So either get a single target silence, or an Orchid Carrier, or some really heavy stun. Because I think if they just keep drafting similar to what they've done so far in the tournament, that kind of style where Secret in their games have actually played very low amounts of disable, with just a lot of damage and healing and control.
Yeah, that is true.
Then if they pick like that, I think Timber could
I mean,
get
they
out.
could also just go Venge and minus armor.
Yes,
Minus armor
Venge is
I'm
good too.
surprised that Venge hasn't been
That's a reliable single target.
picked or anything
Right.
so far. Silencer, you
There's
were
the
talking
silence.
Talking about for e-home, but sure.
about... yeah.
Oh,
That's-
no,
No, no,
was
he was
really
saying that single target silence against the Timber, so it's
Yeah,
good.
they needed
Alright.
to counter the Timber. So they have Last Word, which is really good against Timber.
Yep.
He needs to cast multiple spells to do anything in the fight, and then Global in addition to that.
Is there any chance
pickup.
this is a core silence?
I think it's solo mid.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
S4 silencer then?
Could be.
But there's no, it's not a given. But it's.
How does Silencer fare against the other two? I mean,
I think they need to once again they need to give this they need to prioritize shutting down the Timber. So running Silencer as a core for that could be a nice solution. Depending on what eHome picks now for the lanes, then
How do you guys like Puck for
see.
Secret? If silencer is a support.
if support, yeah, that would be good too. It's another silence, a good hero at getting away from Timber and Jugger. Puck is very nice, actually. Then it's a question of whether Secret can end the game though, because then their only reliable physical DPS is Bristleback, which can work, but it's not ideal, I would say. in
hey,
most
Axe
cases.
spins to win.
Yeah. He can't do that on towers.
Damn it.
That would be pretty good.
Yes.
What do you think, Ben?
I don't know. I don't think their front line's strong enough versus Axe, Bristle, and Silencer. eHome's front line, because I mean Timbersaw needs stacks to build up his reactive, and if he gets initiated on, he's most likely going to die. Same with Juggernaut, especially with a cover of global. So I think they need a strong hero out in front. But at the same time, like Mushi doesn't really play those sort of heroes.
I'm
he plays
thinking-
the range in the back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
I'm
I still
thinking-
think it could be his Timber.
I think when you see Bristleback and Axe together, or individually, pure damage feels like the way to go. And Timbersaw provides some of that, but any other hero that can provide a little bit more of that pure damage is going to make life much, much easier against those two heroes. You said Omni Knight. The heal
Oh,
is
it is
nice.
pure damage, but it
But
was just an
it's-
example of something
Oh,
they
boy.
could do to.
Yeah.
I'm
Timbersaw.
completely in for this pick, right?
Okay. I'm not really seeing this.
You could go for the IO. I think this is the end goal. You go for the IO, you go for the Silencer.
I
So
like the
heroes that
Spearbreaker.
want to stay behind, you just go past the Bristle,
Well,
go
it gives
past
them the
the
front
Axe.
line you were talking about. I
They
guess.
don't have a way to
So-
stop the Spirit Breaker. Like you don't really want to use Call on him, and other than that, they don't have any other
Yeah,
stun.
that's true. Well, you can still, of course, you can just global silence when you see him charging in, and
But
then he,
that
then he
doesn't
can't.
cancel the charge.
No, but then he can't follow up with a
Yeah,
ult.
It's a great
If
way
that's-
to start off the fight, though. If you're using a silencer to stop a Spirit Breaker from
Yeah,
charging
that's
in,
true. It's
that's
actually
really
it's
good.
fairly good. It depends on what position the other eHome heroes are in when he goes in. If he's like way in front and you just global just to stop the charge, then you're wasting the global essentially, right? So
Yeah.
you need to determine in the situation, okay, how big is the threat? Can eHome actually follow up with this, and then maybe you can break their combo. But yeah, at second thought, I think the Spirit Breaker is. I'm still not completely sold on it because for me this hero is generally very hit or miss, but this could be one of the games
Yeah, I
that
think
it
Spirit Breaker
could hit in.
owns.
Is this
You
an
think he owns-
offlane?
I think
is
he
it-
owns.
is this an
I think he
offlane or is it support, like a 4?
That's hard to say.
I think it might be a support.
It depends on
I
what
think
Secret
it's.
does.
I think putting it support could work.
if Silencer's
you do the
core,
right
I
way.
think they put it support because
Yeah.
Spirit Breaker can just own Silencer over and over, and EO can't really stop it
Yeah.
from happening.
And
if
it
it's a
matches also very well when you have Witch Doctor and Spirit Breaker. It's a very good combination. The Spirit Breaker makes sure that you get the second cast bounce that you need, and it just works very well. Also, the heal from Witch Doctor allows Spirit Breaker to be more and more divey. Remember, this hero has 5 armor and 701 HP at level 1. So
Didn't even talk about Tiny.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
so true.
we were so focused on
Bristleback,
IO and
Aya,
Bristleback
yeah.
working together, but you know
Well,
you
now
could
he has
also
a
just-
choice, I guess.
That's a 4th strength hero though.
Yep.
This
against
is
Timber, yeah.
the Timber game. If he gets, let's say Timber gets a BKB in this game, for example. So then the only counter to him is global silence and call. If he doesn't get called,
And tossing him away.
and tossing him away, yeah. It's
I mean, even Call doesn't do that much. If he chakrams, he can't even attack.
and Tiny will not. The way you usually see Tiny just completely destroy heroes when he gets a couple hits off doesn't really work against Timbersaw if he's got some stacks up on reactive armor. Just imagine a team fight in which Timbersaw has, let's say, 10 stacks of reactive armor. He has
Ooh,
10
OD, and
oh,
again
wow.
against strength heroes, OD is so good as well.
Yeah.
Because
I really like eHome's draft, but I still think it's in terms of ease of execution, I favor Secret's lineup. I think it's easier to play and has more room for error.
I find it funny that
than
you say
eHome's
that
does.
lineup with a Wisp is the easier one to execute.
Well, these players know how
Exactly,
to play with Wisp.
yeah.
So, but eHome's lineup, from a competitive standpoint, I think it can destroy Secret's lineup, and it can also just completely fall short. And I think it all depends on how useful that Spirit Breaker gets, to be honest.
Let me
early
ask
on.
you this question, Ben. If the picks were flipped, would you favor Secret?
I think so. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So what we're saying right now is Secret is probably the better team.
Secret is a better team.
Oh, so far they are.
Yeah.
There's no denying that.
So this is going to be a support axe and mid silencer, right?
No, it's support silencer, Puppy.
Yeah, when they pick like this, probably. But they could also run greedy with a jungle axe. That's not even out of the
I mean,
question.
we've
I
seen
think that's what
Puppy
they're
play axe
considering
before
right now.
too, yeah.
He is a really good axe player. I kind of like that idea more in a way, because it's going to pay off a lot more if they get to get levels on the sounds early.
I think they can contest
It's
axe.
it's an off
Contest Jug's farm though.
Zion
Wait.
axe,
Okay, are they?
the genuine molten claw.
These lanes are not predictable for eHome. That's another thing to keep in mind. They don't really know what Secret's going to do. So they put Zion Axe, and that means S4 is on the Bristleback, which I don't think we've seen yet. They might swap. I don't know if it's just a mind game or not, but
I've seen S4 play Bristleback before.
Yeah.
Brian, do you have time to check stats on S4 Bristleback, please? Thank you very much.
man, this is a really, from a drafting standpoint, I think this is the game I'm most excited about so far in the tournament.
Yeah.
I really want to see this eHome lineup work. It's
After seeing
super
some
cool.
very questionable drafts yesterday,
Yeah.
I don't know if were you here by the last couple games?
I was upstairs.
Yeah, there were the Tongfu game had a very weird draft, and the last Cloud9 game also had very weird drafts.
2 games played it in November, most recently.
He
One
played
lost.
2
1 win, 1 loss.
Okay,
Okay.
1-1 with
So there's a
S4
50%. Very nice.
In November.
in November.
Okay.
It's been a while.
Well, he played it with Alliance in December of 2013.
Oh.
And in November of 2014, there was 2 games over.
Okay.
Okay.
So he played it twice ever. One game was in December 2013 with Alliance, and one was in November. Which one did he win?
The one with Alliance.
The one with Alliance.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
Okay.
Power Rangers.
So his recent success with the hero is non-existent.
Wow, I really like
Okay.
Timbersaw's thingy. Chest
This
set.
thingy, I think that's Ice Ice's, right?
Timberthaw.
I'm pretty sure.
It's Ice's thingy set.
Thingy
His
set.
thingy set, filled with frost and jewels and everything you'd ever
Yeah.
want.
It's
Ehon
like
takes
a
control of
pizza
the jungle.
cutter. It's a pizza cutter, right? That's what he has in his left hand. A pizza cutter.
I'm fine with that.
Cool. Excellent. And with that being said, I'll leave you with Sansfon and Merlini, which are going to be the lucky guys that are going to cast this game.
Oh
guys,
yeah.
good luck.
All right, welcome to the game Secret versus eHome. Let's go over the lineups before we get any further. Secret, looking at Puppy on the support silencer, Arteezy on Tiny, the farming Tiny that is. S4 is this, so it's going to be a mid Bristleback in all likelihood, with Kuroki and Zai each playing Io and Axe respectively. And then for eHome, Ben Merlini Wu.
eHome, we have DDC on the Witch Doctor, already placing a sentry in the offlane jungle. Yang on the Boots First Juggernaut. Mushi on the solo mid Outworld Devour. Ohio on the solo mid Timbersaw. And Inflame on the Spirit Breaker.
Who just did a ton of damage to Puppy on the silencer. We'll see how this 4-position Spirit Breaker works out. That's actually one of Zai's favorite heroes. That was somebody I was actually questioning whether he'd pick up, but the Axe was obviously going to be for him in all likelihood, and it is. So he's going to be top lane. But right now, we're going to be looking at Spirit Breaker and Witch Doctor transitioning towards bottom against Arteezy. And Flame, he can go 1v1 for now. He has Charge of Darkness, so no points in Bash at the moment. So these right clicks, I mean, they still hurt. He has decent base damage overall. And Kuroki and Puppy going to help out their comrade in arms and Arteezy. What do you think about... Are you happy to see Kuroki back on support? I haven't really talked to you about that at all.
I've been asked this question before, and it's sad that Kuroki has to play support because he wants to play carry. But
Yeah.
that's the thing about the most versatile players; they always have to play support because they're always in the most demand. So, I mean, it's probably sad for him, but it's good for the team.
What do you play?
Me?
Yeah.
I don't. I
You
hate
switch
playing
up a
support.
lot.
I know. I try to play core.
You're
though.
very versatile, Merlini.
Please no support. Please. So it looks like eHome is trying to shut down Tiny's farm, they can shut him down in all 3 lanes. If he's top lane, Timbersaw can deal with the mid lane. OD will out CS him, and in the bottom lane, they have 3 people there. So there are game plans to shut down Arteezy, but at the same time, S4 is getting okay CS in mid, and Axe is getting the better of Timbersaw on the top. So it's working out for them now.
Oh, Avalanche toss combination is going to bring Witch Doctor very long. First Blood's going to go away of Kuroki. He's getting charged at the moment. Yang still has the Blade Fury to work with. Charger Darkness is going to connect into a Blade Fury. Is this going to be enough damage to get the kill? A couple more right clicks. He's going to use the tether on a creep. He's going to be okay with the bottle charges. He's just kiting him. Ehome taking a lot of damage. Toss is not up at the moment. And Healing Word will heal back Juggernaut as Arteezy taking some right clicks from Inflame. So far the tri-lane for Secret coming out on top.
It's all the small things adding up at the start. Getting first 2 bounty runes and then getting that kill so he has boots. Like, it's a really rich EO. It's 2 minutes in. Here he has boots and bottle. That's absurd.
And he just denied the haste rune at the bottom, which EO was really wanting to get. That is truly unfortunate. But the Healing Ward is going to be quite nice in this lane, obviously. And especially, ever since they changed the move speed of that Healing Ward, it just feels like it's so impossible to kill, especially in the early stages of the game. As Zai is just going to creep skip now. And as a result, he's going to be the highest CSer in the game at 16-1. How do you feel about Zai's offlane performances so far, minus the techies?
They've been really good.
Yeah.
Really good. I mean, that's actually what he played before he played support for EG. He was offlane on a little-known American team. And Kuro's back in lane. And, I mean, they aren't able to do too much about Arteezy, especially after the way that things went in the first couple of minutes. And Yang, he can easily die.
Oh, I hear a charge. It's going to be on top of Kuroki. Arteezy. Actually, it's going to be canceled. Doesn't want to go too deep, fearing the combination from Arteezy himself, which is pretty scary to think of. If we look at, we're going to look at top right now. Is look at the spin to win. Zai doing a lot of damage to Timbersaw. He's going to have to pop his health pot. But mid lane is what I wanted to talk about. Bristleback against OD. This is not something you see very often anymore, especially considering OD is kind of fallen out of favor. It's essentially, with enough Astral Imprisonments, one cool spray will take about 50% of his mana pool. I mean, he's going to survive, but he's
still getting getting decent CS
yeah.
because he went Quelling Blade. It's a thing that you'll see some teams do. I've seen like Lifestealer with Quelling Blade trying to match up with OD in the mid lane. Bristleback is somewhat similar, very difficult to kill, decent base damage, and can use your spells once in a while.
Man, Ehome are not getting anything in this bottom lane. The rune, again, this time not denied. Kuroki picks up the Invis, and the Juggernaut takes a Curse of the Silent just for his
charge
efforts.
on top.
Uh-oh. Charge onto Zai. Do they have enough damage to take him out?
Absolutely not.
Level 6 on Zai. Timbersaw. Okay, they actually canceled the charge. He's just going to start pulling, it seems.
Yeah, so now you're in this position with Spirit Breaker where he can't really charge any of the 3 lanes. They have already tried on Wisp. Axe is probably going to kill them if they charge him with just 2 people. Actually, here they go.
Well, that new cooldown for charge is pretty nice. They're going to have three attempts at this. All right, Maledict. Okay, this might actually be enough damage. There's the cask. Berserker's Call's a little late. He's just going to go for as much damage as possible. Here comes Kuroki healing him up. Is this going to be enough to get a kill first? Looks like Zai will finally fall in the end. Kuroki, a nice transition over. Not able to secure any kills, but gets everybody quite low.
Yeah, they have to rotate as 3, I think, to get any kill now. Like, 2 people aren't enough to kill on Bristleback, so they really just have to keep eyes on the Witch Doctor, if at all possible. Puppy recently dropped a ward in mid to try and spot that movement out. I mean, you can't really account for the Spirit Breaker. You just kind of have to guess where he's going to charge.
And Yang has to be super careful in this bottom lane now that he doesn't have his supports with him. What do you think about Spirit Breaker as a support in general? I mean, right now he's level 3.
I actually think he's surprisingly strong. Oh, Yang almost.
Well, the wand is there. Curse of the Silent. Oh, Blade Fury's going to evade all the damage.
I think once you get level 2, he's really good. His Empowering Haste is also really strong for kiting people. 18% move speed is insane. So, and then on top
do you
of that,
typically go 1-1-1? He went a 2-1, a 2-0-1.
You at least get 1-0-1, and after that it's up to the player. But yeah, I think he's underrated. He's good against the blinkers, obviously. He's decent against BKB.
Arteezy picking up another rune, this time handing it off to S4 in the end. They've gotten pretty much every single important rune there is this game, and that's a pretty big deal, especially considering you have a Wisp. Wait, is that a Bristleback bottle as well as a Wisp bottle, or just the Wisp bottle is just everybody's using these?
It's 2.
2 bottles, very nice. So they're just getting complete rune control. Zai going to be taking a charge again.
It's a smart build from him.
He has a Vitality booster, so he's going to have a lot of raw HP now. Here comes the Charge of Darkness. Are there going to be any TP support? Nope. He's just going to cancel it.
His positioning and his item choice is really good. He's staying on the far left side so that if they try and go for him, he'll have enough time to react, or Kuro can TP in. And the Vit booster is really nice because he needs the extra HP against Whirling Death.
And with all these rotations coming over, the fact that he's such a high level is going to be huge. I mean, even if he was struggling, he could go to the jungle. That's the beauty of somebody like Axe playing in the off lane, but he doesn't even need to at this point. He can survive a 3-man gank, or at least come close. And S4, in all likelihood, will be... Well, he's not going to stack these Ancients now, but that's another thing to look for, is a lot of stacks. Both Bristleback... Actually, Tiny, Bristleback, and Axe do really well with stacks, so expect that to come very shortly. Arteezy working on treads. Haven't seen Tiny in that. I mean, it's not as consistent a pick as we've seen, just because everything seems to work really well with Wisp these days. What kind of build do you prefer to see this game for him after the treads?
Treads drums.
Well, after okay, treads drums.
Treads drums Ags.
Into Ags right away. Okay.
And then maybe Manta style is decent versus Jug. It's okay versus other heroes. BKB is also really good. They don't actually have that much on BKB.
Top lane,
oh,
Cask
no.
into Maledict, into Charge. Ehome trying to do as much damage. Not lots of pure damage with that Chakram. This actually might be enough to kill Zai. There's no rotations over from the rest of his teammates, but still, it takes 3 to kill him. Bottom line, they're not going to get any trade, though, out of this.
It's going to get a lot more difficult once Kuro hits 6. So Secret needs to prioritize that as much as possible, or they can just send Axe to the jungle so they don't really have to worry about it. But Secret don't necessarily like to give out free farm when they can do something about it.
You were talking about Bristleback getting decent farm in mid, and actually he basically has half the CS now of OD, which I think you'd come to expect, right?
Yeah,
I mean, OD is considered probably top 3 best 1v1 heroes in the game.
You also have to consider that the 2 supports have been missing a lot on Ehome, so he has to play a lot more scared. Whereas OD is not really scared of a Wisp or a Silencer coming in, since the Bristle will have no mana.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
He's able to CS a lot more freely because of that. And Secret has also had more runes too, so even though his CS isn't that great, he's had a lot more runes and bounties to work with.
S4 working on his treads as well.
Look at this stacking by Secret.
In the Ancients? Or okay.
Safe lane. They have a tri-stack there.
And give it all to Kuroki and Puppy.
Prioritizing a 6 is really important, and Puppies as well.
Yeah, Puppy 6 can be pretty big. And that in combination with the relocate, that is very hard to deal with, in fact. And we talked about how Timbersaw is so good against these melee heroes, but if he can't cast anything, he's literally useless.
Mushi will be going for a non-greedy mech build. I think, I mean, they don't have better late game just because a lot of the heroes don't deal well with BKBs, Timbersaw and OD in particular, whereas Secret has a lot of physical damage and the Wisp Tiny to deal with BKBs. So going into like 30 minutes plus, you don't really want to fight BKB wars. So that means that Ehome has to keep up the pressure and has to fight. And, you know, the mech build is in line with this, and I like the game plan from Ehome.
Once Kuroki hits 6, when do they start actually relocating with Arteezy?
I think they
right
just
away?
Go with Zai in the top lane. Like, Zai's in the jungle right now because he's died twice. So I think after he gets 6, they can go for a kill there, and then, you know, wait for them to go on him, global relocate, call, and then get a couple of kills.
S4 was getting charged, but he has the haste rune bottled, so he's going to be perfectly fine. How fast is charge now? It's faster than haste. It's like 600 something.
650 at level 4.
650, okay.
And look at this already. There's a lot of contention around this stack just because the game's been going so passively. Sentry on sentry.
Indeed. Well, looking at mid lane again, like you said, Mushi going to be... Actually, he's finished with his mech. It's just at base at the moment. And what is Ehome's game plan? I mean, Ohio. Oh my god. You just lose a 1v1 battle to Bristleback. Of course, he did have haste, so...
This still shouldn't happen. He can TP out if he's at a decent HP.
He must have been low, I think. He must have been low to begin with. As Timbersaw does have the point boosters. I'm going to go for Bloodstone relatively early on. But going back to my earlier sentiment, Ehome, what is their plan? I mean, we know Secret wants to relocate, and they have plenty of people to go with Wisp. They have Bristleback, Tiny, and Axe.
Solution to this is to charge on Wisp. So they have to keep track of EO on the map. Like, they're pushed out decently far right now. The problem is Jug is not in a position to fight. So they need more farm on Juggernaut. I'd say they need to get Timbersaw nice and fat so that he can be the counter that he is supposed to be versus Secret's 4 strength lineup. And they need to do a better job not getting
There's
picked
going to be a gank attempt, a couple TPs. Nice. Avalanche is going to stop the charge completely. Inflame has no mana. He's level 5, so he doesn't have another strike to work with. And it looks like Secret's going to be fine. So 2 rotations from eHome, all for naught.
Yeah, they have to be really careful about the way Spirit Breaker comes in. Like, he came in from over here, which makes it, like, really clear. If he came from, like, over here, I think he'd be more obscured by the trees. It's a little bit of a better angle, but, I mean, Secret, they're pretty well versed at how to deal with the Spirit Breaker. S4 TPing away, so they're not getting caught off guard like you see some teams normally.
Ruined contention. Avalanche is not going to prevent Ohio from getting that bounty. He picks it up, nice and Axe actually should have been done with the Vanguard a couple minutes ago. What does he have right now?
I think it's just a casual fit.
Oh, okay.
The Vanguard isn't that strong versus eHome's lineup. I mean, Juggernauts, I guess he'll do a lot versus Juggernaut, but OD and Timber, I think the main sources of damage, it won't do anything versus. So, I don't know. Things not going very well for eHome. Secrets, they've limited the damage from the Spirit Breaker. Like, there are somewhat weak lanes, I would say. Like, a Tiny with a tri-lane silencer. Wisp is not that strong. Solo Bristle in the mid and Solo Axe off lane. It's not the strongest lanes, and they weren't able to take advantage of it. So they've weathered the storm pretty well. It's kind of like dealing with a Nyx. If you play enough and you're very experienced, you can limit the damage that they do, and if you can do that, then you can it's an easy mid game for you.
Right.
So Spirit Breaker is really hurting. He hasn't gotten any kills and he hasn't died, but it's much worse that he's 0 in the death or 0 in the kill column rather than a 0 in the death.
Well, now that he's level 6, perhaps they can set something up, but unfortunately S4 has the buckler. In all likelihood, will be going that Crimson. Actually, is somebody going mech on their team? Maybe it's a mech, in fact. Would you prefer a mech over... I guess it would be a mech if you got buckler first.
I think mech's better here.
Yeah.
Mech's better with Wisp, I would say, too.
Yeah, for sure. But eHome, the problem with their lineup is they have a hard time catching up. Like Juggernaut, you saw him taking out the Ancients, but it's just one click at a time as opposed to an Axe or a Tiny or a Bristleback that can take out an entire stack relatively easily. And I think a lot of weight is on Mushi's shoulders right now because he is the top net worth in the game, but if you look at the spread, it's mostly Secret and actually Arteezy taking the... They're just flip-flopping left and right, I suppose. But that's the scary thing because Tiny, once he gets that Axe, his farm is going to skyrocket.
Oh, Mushi getting
Berserker
caught out.
Skull having to relocate as well. Mushi takes a Maledict as well. Avalanche toss combination is going to bring him down. Death Ward is up, doing a decent amount of damage to Zai, who gets charged with the Maledict applied and looks like he's going to fall. It's a 1-for-1 exchange at the moment. And Flame finally gets... Nope, Nether Strike not going to happen. Global Silence, stopping him in his tracks. And down he goes. It's a 2-for-1. 2-for-2, actually. Wisp ended up dying somewhere. As Avalanche is going to connect on Ohio. Arteezy gets the toss up a little bit late. Dodging the Chakram really nicely. Takes the Timber Chain to the face. He's all alone. This is a 1v1 battle for the ages. One more right click will do it, and down goes the Timber Saw. Arteezy manning up. Guess I shouldn't be surprised.
I would say it's even more on the Timber than the OD. Because OD's not that high of a skill cap hero. I'd say Timber is much more so. He has to dodge the Axe. He has to stack up reactive armor. He has to go in the back and assassinate the Wisp. And he has to play around Global Silence. I think his job is much more difficult.
You think a BKB is going to be pretty important for him?
I mean, BKB's okay, but it's... I think most people prefer Yules at this point too, especially using a Axe to counter initiate, using a Bristleback too. So especially if he's tethered, so you can just go for the Wisp. And they let Axe have a lot of free roam. Now that he has Blink, they have a way better initiation. Like eHome, their jump is not that great, just because the Spirit Breaker can be countered.
Well, the Ward's scouting them out, and they're going to take Curse of the Silent, which DDC is really hurting from right now. And as a result, they're now going to back off into the jungle.
eHome's really trying to limit their economy, though. They know they can't really kill them, but they dropped the Sentry Ward here at the Magic Bush, and then they had that Sentry up here, so they know that Secret is just going to play passively, look for kills with Blink Call into relocate, and then just continue their lead if they can get a kill on a really high priority hero like Mushi, Yang, or Ohio.
Well, they are going to get a tier 1 bot. Charge onto Kuroki. He doesn't have anybody close to him to tether to. Has a relocate, however. Actually, he might be in range. Is he? It's going to be close. Nether Strike's going to apply. Right clicks are here. Somebody TP's in. He's going to tether into the... Okay, that's not a TP. That creeps can't TP, unfortunately. That would be pretty sick.
Requesting assistance, creeps. Please.
Tether
Please
is
come.
just... I feel like Tether is it's so freaking good. I'm trying to think of like how I would rank it as far as best skills in the game. I mean, I guess it wouldn't be good on everybody, obviously, but it is just insane. Even with the nerf where it doesn't stun anymore, it's still ridiculously good.
It's good in the right hands. Because
it's a high skill cap for sure. Oh, we're going to have initiation Zai onto Mushi. Silence is out as well. Avalanche toss combination is way too much damage for Mushi to handle. And he's third in the net worth now.
There's nothing they can do about this initiate is the sad part. Until they get like BKBs or...
That was a global, right?
Yeah, they blink, call, relocate global, and there is like almost nothing they can do. Maybe like OD 4 staffs away, but actually that's not even.
Well, that's why I was asking you about the BKB. I know it's not really that great, but against the global silence, or maybe
he's still gonna die to call plus the right clicks from Tiny. I think.
Yeah, in all likelihood.
The chain is too long. Relocate takes 2.5. Berserker's call lasts what 3.2, I believe. 3.2, and then they follow up with a stun toss. And they can even toss him during BKB, so it's not a guarantee.
Oh, Zai's thinking about initiating top. He gets the call off. He gets charged right off the bat, but here comes Arteezy as well. Takes another strike to the face. He's taking so much damage, but here comes Arteezy with that big, bad Aghanim Scepter. Not able to get the kill on Inflame. Puppey is here to help secure the kill on DDC in all likelihood. DDC takes a nice mech from S4, trying to spread out the Omni Slash damage. Not able to secure themselves a kill. Axe buys back into the game. Puppey gets destroyed to the Sandy's Eclipse. Look at the Arcane Orb doing a lot of damage to S4 as well. Ohio stuck in the wrong place at the wrong time. Dies in the middle of a Timber Chain. In the end, it's a 2-for-1. eHome's advantage overall, costing a buyback of Zai. But they're going to continue to chase. Is there a toss coming out for onto DDC? He's even going to need it. The slow's out. There's the toss. Boom! Zai takes him out. But Arteezy gets... I feel like Zai should be getting credit for that kill, by the way. Like, why is he getting credit for that? He's the one that stomps on his head. And they're going to take a tier 1 for their troubles as well.
So it's a 2-for-2 and a buyback, which I would guess is eHome's slight win, but that's without relocate and without a global silence. I think global silence is just going to destroy them these later fights.
Yeah, it's going to be super hard to counter for sure.
Yeah, and maybe they get Aegis on Mushi and push with it. That might be a better option. And this way they can, just bait all those spells out, blink call plus global plus relocate, and then after that they take a fight, 5-man fight with mech. I think that might be a really good option for eHome.
Charge onto Puppey. He is all alone. He has global silence. Not sure if he wants to use it. And I believe he's just going to fall to the ground. Indeed he does. What are your thoughts as Juggernaut is... It looks as if he's building towards an S and Y. I've talked at length with Cinderin about this. What are your thoughts on the item? Are you one of the haters?
It depends.
I mean, it could technically be a basher thing, but...
It's good on heroes that need the move speed, which is very few, but I think Juggernaut and Lifestealer in particular are really easily kited. Especially with Yules being such a common pickup nowadays, like Ghost Scepter, these items can kite them very easily, and it really helps us uptime on targets. Also, it helps them from being chopped down, helps them from being bursted down from Avalanche Toss. I think it's a decent item, and it's a natural progression after the Yasha if you don't need the Manta. Like, what does Manta do here? It dies to Cleave, it gets
rid of global silence.
It gets rid of global silence.
That's probably the main benefit.
That is definitely the best part of it, but the illusions themselves aren't going to stay alive.
Yeah,
more spins with Axe.
Right.
And there's a time and place for SNY.
I mean, I think it's Secret has amazing AoE clear. That's the thing. With Aghanims on Arteezy, and like you said, the spins from Zai. It's going to be an uphill battle for eHome. I mean, it's only 8-7, but it just doesn't feel that close right now. Can we take a look at the graphs real quick, if we could? Our amazing cameraman in Wepis. Looks like Secret's up about 5k in XP. Did we look at gold? Did I miss that? Oh, it's the same in gold? Okay. Alright, they're basically identical. Very nice. Wepis, best cameraman EU. And US, since you're here right now. Zai still has that. He has the blink dagger, obviously, like you talked about. 190 gold. He's going to jump into Ohio. There's the combination you're talking about. Relocate, global silence, Ohio. What can he do? Literally nothing. Gets a chop to the face. And perhaps they go for the tier 1 mid now, which eHome, in all likelihood, would just have to give up, especially to the Ags Arteezy. Okay, they actually want to defend. Seeing the initiation come in again. Death Ward really not doing that much damage, however. Zai kind of isolating himself out, but they don't want to chase him. They're going to go for S4, the tankiest of the targets. Takes BKB. Okay, he's going to live, though.
He didn't even need a mech.
That is insane how much damage he took. Apparently a courier just went down with 2,500 gold on top. Mushi, well, Avalanche Toss combination, unfortunately can't live thanks to the mech. Zai's going to initiate in. DDC in all likely going to take a chop. Will die regardless of the fact. Inflame on the run, no mana to speak of. 4 dead for eHome. Timbersaw wasn't even part of that fight because he died earlier. At least they get to deny mid, but this is probably going to be a tier 2 mid if they want to really push, but they're going to chase the Juggernaut. Has Mask of Madness, double damage. I don't even know if that's going to help. The Mask of Madness will help him get away. Okay, they're going to prioritize the Roshan. Some nice minus armor from S4. And it's going to be an easy one.
Secret's been playing very, very smart. They just wait for every time Blink call, good position with Global, they get a kill. And for some reason, eHome still took that fight even without the Timbersaw. And I don't know if they saw the BKB on Bristle, but oh, yeah, that's close.
Timbersaw really wanted to go. It might be enough damage to kill out Zai. He does with the Chakram. Charge is coming in. Cass is going to bounce a couple times. Maledict's going to... I can't even tell if that connected. It looked like it missed completely. Yang, spin to win onto Puppey. Has pretty much no mana to speak of. Pops his wand. But it looks like it's going to be all for naught. And down he goes. And Inflame actually came all the way in. Wanted to go for a kill on support, but just gets Avalanche to the face. Gets another strike off, but will soon fall to the IO.
They have to kill Wisp.
Oh my god, that toss from Arteezy. S4 with the beak. That is a scary-ass target. A golden bristleback coming at you at ridiculous speeds. And it's a 15-8 advantage for Secret, as they're just going to steal Ancients from eHome. eHome's side of the map. And unfortunately, I mean, for eHome, we haven't seen... Like, OD I thought was a good pick. We just haven't really seen it come to fruition at all. And the Timbersaw, good against melee heroes. It's just, at the end of the day, I feel like the global silence against the Timbersaw is so big.
They are always taking fights 4-on-5. Secret always gets a pick off, and then they're always willing to fight when it's 5-on-4. And then eHome, they can't ever get a 5-on-5 fight that they want because of the Blink Call Global. So, I mean, it's somewhat of a vision issue because they can't get kills with Spirit Breaker, but it's also because of the impact of the first 5-10 minutes of the game where the supports are strong enough to withstand a solo Spirit Breaker, and they can move around doing what they want. And then they didn't shut down Axe hard enough. He still got, 15-minute Vit booster into a Blink. And now that eHome did not get the Aegis, oh no.
Oh, Berserker's Call is going to cancel the TP through the Blade Fury and chop Zai. Another kill goes his way. He's 2-5. I thought he had more kills, but he did sacrifice his life a few times top. Can we look, the courier that died, do we know what was on that? It was 2,500 gold. Just a bunch of recipes. That's like going to finish up the Bloodstone for Ohio. That's pretty big that he
did it die again?
Get that. No, that was
okay.
from a couple
I
minutes
thought it
ago.
died again. I was like, what?
He finally gets his Bloodstone.
The Bloodstone
minutes in.
is actually a big pickup. If he had Bloodstone when they picked him up, he would have been able to come to that fight mid and maybe kill Bristleback after he used BKB, or maybe even during, or right before rather.
Oh, Inflame. Zai's going to find him. Blink, Berserker's Call. Last word as well. He's going to charge on the Puppey and attempt to run away. Battle Hunger's level 4 chop might be enough. I think he's going to have it. No! Well, that's a tanky mother effer in that Spirit Breaker, I suppose, even without a lot of farm. Arteezy going to toss his target away. Attempting to run away is himself. Here goes the Astral Prison. Global Silence used a little bit early. We'll see if Kurokin can relocate out. And away he goes! They get a kill. That's like a look-away three-point shot. It's one of those amazing... very confident plays, if you will. Wisp, he's going to come back with Arteezy. I don't know if they were expecting that. Avalanche toss combination. He's going to take an Astral Imprisonment. Zai really wanted to initiate. Nice Omni Slash. He's going to destroy Zai along with the Sanity's Eclipse. And Arteezy, look at how much damage he takes to that Arcane Armor. He does have the Aegis, of course. He will be back very shortly. Puppey on the run through the river. Kuroki's the one we're focusing on. Looks like Puppey will fall to one more right click from that OD. And Kuroki as well. He has Tether in 3 seconds. It's not going to be in time. Another Astral Imprisonment just kiting the crap out of this Tiny. Puppey will actually get out with that TP, and Mushi will not be so lucky as Arteezy chops him to the ground himself. Inflame comes up with a charge of himself. Yang, don't think he has anything to work with. Just gets destroyed. Arteezy can just 1v3, no problem. Avalanche toss again, Ohio. He has Timber Chain up very shortly. We'll get up to the cliff, and he's going to live to see another day, but Secret... This Tiny, man. You cannot underestimate this Aghanim Scepter.
They've been doing a really good job of kiting. Secret has been.
I can't believe Puppey lived through that. That was insane.
Yeah, Puppey lived, and Kiro lived throughout that initial burst when Tiny was astraled. Like he's very, very smart about knowing when the opponent is going to focus him And he, like, after he relocated, he defensively tethered to a creep to get some distance.
Man, those creeps
hanging
have
on.
been big this game.
Yeah.
MVP creeps for sure. Looks like we have another Okay, can you tell me why SNY is just have like a resurgence out of nowhere? It seems. I mean,
he's just stacking move speed. Like
the only thing that's changed though is the sound effect. Like nothing has changed for stats, right?
Well, a
Like
lot of
in the recent times.
the heroes need move speed. They get kite a lot. Troll plus Bristle. You know, it's a different meta than before. So
Inflame. Arteezy's gonna find him. Kuroki's here as well. Avalanche is gonna miss unless he wanted to hit those on the actually no, he didn't even use it. There it is. And then Flame, he's gonna get the Nether Strike. Never mind. That is like the most impossible spell to get off, I feel. Of course, Global Silence helps quite a bit in that regard. Ohio already at half health. Kuroki stuck in the trees. That's the target they want to go for, and they blow him up. And Arteezy, he doesn't seem to care. He just wants to kill everybody. DDC takes an Avalanche, tosses up. He can't quite get in range. Can continue to chop. There's the toss. One more right click will do it. And Mushi wants to continue to fight, or does he? Takes a Battle Hunger from Zai, who's coming to this fight. Omni Slash applied to Arteezy. Zai's going to try to share the damage. Arteezy extremely low. E-Home. Can they take out Arteezy? It's not looking like he's going to do it. You're right. The kiting is just out of control right now. And Puppey, with those orb attacks, Berserker's Call is going to help finish off Ohio with the chop. Blink Dagger picked up. I think he bought that after he died, actually. Which means he's definitely not going to have buyback right now.
yeah, the kiting
Seeker can just continue.
is really, really good. I mean, that was Tiny without a Wisp.
Yep.
And without the sustain, without the damage reduction, without the move speed, and they still can't kill Arteezy.
Did Kuroki buy back in
Yes,
that?
he did.
Okay. So it did cost a buyback, but definitely worth it. They're going to get the tier 3, if not more. Permanent damage to this range Rax. Yang already used his Omni Slash. And the initiation, no. They're just trying to do a little bit of damage, kite him a bit. Arteezy going to get spun on, but he's one right click. Look at how much damage that ends up doing. They're going to try to focus on Kuroki. He's continuing to kite, taking Arcane Orbs. Sanity's Eclipse is used. Not doing that much. S4 is completely devoid of mana, however, but they're going to continue the pressure on Mushi. Arteezy, back in the fray of things, tosses Ohio into the air. BKB popped by S4. And here comes the Berserker's Call on 2. 1 chop. Yang getting extremely low. Another chop to follow. I'm sure he has no mana, though. 3 dead for E-Home. And with this might be GG. Easy racks for Secret. They're going to at least get 2 lanes, if not more. They could just go full throne, I think, and they're going to do just that. Arteezy's just been an absolute beast. Kuroki does get destroyed to the burst damage of Ohio, but it doesn't seem like Secret cares. They have the damage they need. They take out 1 tier 4. The second one is at half HP. They're going to back up. They're going to play it safe. Is Roshan up? Is he coming back soon?
It's been
a while.
7 minutes,
Okay.
15.
So we'll know in a little less than a minute when he's going to be up.
So things might be a little bit different now that Timbersaw has a blink, because now they actually have a good way of getting to the Wisp. I think they were relying on Spirit Breaker to be able to charge him early on in the fights, but as we can tell, that has just not worked out. Arteezy almost always avalanches him upon arrival, and they can't ever hold the Wisp in place. But now that they have the blink, they don't really need to hold him in place. They just blink, use Chakram, Whirling Death, Timber Chain combo, and maybe like an OD ult or a Juggernaut Omni Slash on top of it, and then Wisp should die. And Wisp doesn't have buyback, so, I mean, they maybe can take advantage of this.
Do you think it was a mistake to go for the tier 4s instead of mid?
I mean, they still got a lot
mid.
of,
There's tier 2 mid.
they still got a lot
I
of
didn't
gold
even
from it.
realize.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad. They only lost a Wisp, so.
BKB now on Arteezy, along with a Mask of Madness. And he is going to be, I mean, as if he wasn't doing enough damage before, just getting disgusting.
Yeah, isn't it a little ridiculous that a Tiny can go Mask of Madness versus lineup and not really feel scared?
Yeah, it's pretty insane. Arteezy, he gets, oh god. Oh god, God help us all. Double damage, Arteezy. Assault Curious, Mask of Madness. Let's see how fast he takes his tower down. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll just call it 4. Got bad RNG.
Are they
on
not
his
even?
damage.
They better respect this.
Yeah, this. Oh my god. He's actually taking this tower out faster. Takes a Maledict and a Cask. Death Ward is used, which means Secret's going to be delayed just a bit. They're going to wait for the Maledict, heal him back up thanks to Kuroki. Inflame charges in, and there you go. Just like you're talking about, Kuroki's the target of choice, but the silence is there for Puppey. The Blade Mail makes literally no difference against Arteezy because of that Blade, because of the BKB. He's just going to apply all his pressure to Mushi. Force staffs himself up the cliff. He's going to live for now. He's actually stuck in the trees. Oh boy. Hopefully he can get out soon. They're going to try to eat their way out. I don't know. But this Rax is going to be down before he gets out of the trees. All right, Chakram is finally using. Here comes the initiation. This might be the last stand for eHome. They've lost 2 in this engagement. Along with the melee Rax, Arteezy, Avalanche on 2, toss again. Zai initiates in. Yang getting to half HP. Chop is not enough for Zai, but the chop from Arteezy will do just fine. Ohio, Timber chains to a melee tree and suicides himself at the end of the day.
That
This
is GG.
GG.
You know, all Wisp strats usually should revolve around killing the Wisp, and they can't kill the Wisp. That is the most apparent thing to me in this game that went wrong.
Do you think maybe
for
he
them.
should have rushed a Blink instead of... I mean, the Bloodstone took a long time.
No, his whole team couldn't get to him. Spearbreaker couldn't get to him. Juggernaut, he has to, like, spin in.
Right.
OD cannot force snap in. And Witch Doctor is just going to die in, like, 2 hits. So their laning phase was a little bit worse than expected, but against Secret, you have to have a very clean game. And it was just a lot of small mistakes here and there, and Flame not being very useful. I don't necessarily think it was his fault, but... you know, the bounty runes into the first kill on bottom into giving.
Well, that was
Wisp.
such a big deal. Like the
Like,
runes,
yeah,
first like 10 minutes of the game.
I feel
felt
like it
Secret
was
got
really-
all of them almost.
Yeah, when you aggro try, you can't have mistakes like that because it's such a risky proposition. When you fall that far behind, okay, what do they do now? Their supports rotate. Juggernaut gets nothing on bottom. They can't kill Axe, and then they lose out mid because well, that was a little sad. I'm sad for eHome.
Looking forward to hearing some thoughts from third parties watching on the outside. What you guys thought? What? That wasn't even an insult.
You're the worst.
Your face. That's an insult.
Okay.
Okay.
Wow.
Take it away.
Whoa.
Wow.
Okay, I think. So I really like eHome's draft, and like I said before the game, I think in terms of ease of execution, I think Secret's lineup was going to be easier to pull off. I think eHome needed to play very, very close to perfect in this game in order to win. They then proceed to get first blood in the bottom lane because they moved the Spirit Breaker out of lane. I think that was the most important kill of the game, actually, was that they got a little bit behind the start. Ben brought it up that he said, well, in the first 5 to 10 minutes, you said at 2 minutes in, IO had Boots Bottle. And that really had a huge impact on the game because they got ahead in the start with the IO lineup. And that's what couldn't happen. Then come early mid-game, let's say 10 to 15 minutes in, or 15 minutes in, eHome were a few thousand gold behind. It's not unmanageable. If you've seen other Secret games in this tournament, Secret has been ahead by 15,000 gold by 20 minutes. They were ahead by 5k. So it was somewhat manageable. And then they have a couple of fights where the focus and the targeting doesn't work out well enough. They get kited a little bit, they miss some crucial opportunities, and then the moment they fall a little bit more behind than that, it's almost impossible to deal with. So they needed to play it really crisp. They didn't. Mushi got ganked 3 times by the Relocate Global Silence, which you can't really fault him for. I mean, what's their lineup really going to do about it? But the fact that it got to that point, it got too difficult. And Secret just played a really good game. Like, you can't take anything away from them. Everyone on the team performed very, very well. So.
And with that, Secret is going to go 7-0, tying EG on that top spot. Cloud9 destroyed Rave in 26 minutes. That was on the other stream. That was, I think, on Dota Cinema stream, which is an interesting result because I guess that means that finally Eternal Envy is out of tilt.
Yeah, it just takes one game, right? Yeah,
It just
fine
takes
now.
one game and you're rolling. You're back again. But anyways, that wraps up the game. Now, eHome getting in a complicated position. Now, we'll take a look at the standings and schedules later because now we're going to go into a small break. And when we come back, we have the next game of the day. I don't have the schedule with me.
Let's take a look here.
eHome IG
eHome IG.
on this stream.
I'm going to be casting that with Ben Wu.
Nice.
Double analysis. Who's doing play? You guys have to switch the color commentary, okay?
We have to switch. We have to take turns.
Yeah.
Yes.
I want to hear both of you.
Take
Do it
turns.
play by
fights.
play.
Take
And you have
turns
to
at
put
saying
some
words.
passion in it, you know? Get a little ramped up. Get whatever that energy drink is. Get that red energy drink. It's fine. It's fine.
Red?
It's blue.
It's blue.
It's a blue energy drink, actually.
Does it taste like blueberry?
I've never had that one before.
Anyways.
We always end up talking about drinks with you.
It's a skill of mine. What can I say?
We're going into a break, guys. When we come back, eHome versus IG. We'll be back in a minute.
Don't just stream, bet now. Go to ebattle.com.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.